Please vote. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Motion carries. The application is denied. We'll now move on to the next case of C-7915, Moore & Associates, Speed Code.
Andy Craig, Moore & Associates, 1324 North Hearn, Suite 301, Shreveport, 71107. Site plan was approved for this truck dealership and sales and service facility at the northwest corner of 70th and Burt Coons. Do you know, was it administrative or did they?
No, it actually, I think, went through the old process of them approving it with the stipulation.
That's what I remembered. I just want to make sure I was correct. And when the site plan was approved, there was a stipulation that there be a screening fence along the west side where it abuts the RA zoning. In the meantime, the site plan was reduced because of economics from the company, and the west 400 some odd feet is not even going to be developed, so we asked that the stipulation be removed. The revised site plan was administratively done, so y'all have not seen the revised site plan, I suppose, unless it's in your packet there. But anyway, that's all it is. We, at this time, the owner requests to not have to build the screening fence. There's going to be 400 and something feet of pine trees between them.
And it's still in the woods?
Sir?
It's still in the woods?
Still in the woods, yeah. Until that property is developed.
Got it. Any comments, questions, Ward? Thank you, Mr. Craig, for staying with us. Anybody else in favor of this application? Anyone in opposition to this application?
Motion approved.
Second.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
This will be with steps, and he said in.
With the steps that, yes. Matter of fact, I think the whole thing is a step.
All right.
With stick.
This is basically a step.
Yes, it's a stip
The
revision.
application is a step, right?
So, well, that's how it'll be recorded.
But the main thing the applicant wants is no 400-foot of fence.
Right, until the property adjacent to him develops.
There you
Then he
go.
has to put it.
Here we go.
Second.
Motion approved by Dr., I'm sorry, it was by Mr. Andrews, second by Miss Bessie.
No.
No, I'm sorry.
You had the second.
You were the second?
I was the first one.
You were the first?
Yeah.
Mr. Carver was first, who was second?
Bessie?
Bessie. I thought Dr. Windsor had it, but we'll
I
go with
had it,
that.
He asked about it being a stip.
Well, he's so seldom in the chamber sometimes.
I know. All right, so I have a motion by Dale, seconded by Miss Bessie. Please
We're
vote.
staring at. I'm gonna get him on the right track for gets going next year.
We voted already.
Yeah, motion carries. I just had to make sure I had it down right. Next case
See you, Andy.
is C-8416 Taylor Robertson LLC.
It's right there off of I-49. Look, I wore my
Where
sticker.
are we now?
I-49. Through I-49 tenant right there.
Calm down.
Calm down, right?
Taylor Robertson LLC.
Actually, David Lane Beard, David Lane Beard and Associates, 105 Commercial Parkway, West Monroe, Louisiana. And we're requesting this change of zoning to construct a automobile laundry on the corner of Piermont and Southern Avenue, I believe. And we have submitted a preliminary site plan and gone through the administrative portion of it. And basically these, we're currently have one under construction near Artist Taylor on Mansfield Road. Our owner takes great pride in his facilities, so to the point that we even, he has got Yard of the Month in West Monroe for his facility there. So, any questions?
Any questions?
I do. I pushed my button. So,
I got Mr. Colvin, Ms. Bessie.
so this is Rocket Pass, right?
That is correct.
And I hate to say anything about others, but I have been to West Monroe. And the turning radius, and I hope the staff can approve this, it seems to be better than the ones we currently have in Shreveport on his application and what's existing.
Right, and remember, that's not on the table, that's for site plan review.
I understand. But it seems like they try to put too much into two little spots.
Right.
Where you gotta back up, turn around and get in. Well, this one's, if it's the same as the one over there, it's a lot easier to get in and out of.
Understand.
Gotcha.
Not a problem for us young drivers.
And please
I got
note,
too big a truck, I guess.
and
Thank
please note too that the applicant with his agreement has altered his application requesting B2 zoning rather than B3.
Okay.
And he has an agreement with that because that would limit the uses there in case he decides not to develop the site. I don't think that's going to be the case, but he's been very cooperative about doing that and is okay with it.
But he only needs a B2 for what he's doing right now.
Correct. But it's, I'm sorry, you're right, B2 with a use approval, which pulls the car wash into the B2.
Right, but he could do something else in B2, but,
That's correct.
okay, gotcha. I understand.
You got it.
Okay.
Ms. Bessie?
Yeah, what would be your hours of operation?
Typically, I believe you open at 9. 7:30 to 7, that's correct? 7, yeah.
Will you be operating on a Sunday?
They do operate on Sundays, yes.
Anything else, Ms. Bessie?
No, I'm glad I just heard the B2. Thank you very much.
Anybody else? Thank you, Mr. Beard. Anybody else like to speak in favor? In favor of this application? Anybody like to speak in opposition to this application?
Good evening. L. Havard Scott III, 1049 Southfield Road, Shreveport, Louisiana, 71106. I'm also here, I'm an attorney. I'm here on my own behalf. I'm also here on behalf of Ron and Kim Armstrong, 5831 Lexington Avenue, Shreveport, 71106. Eva S. Littlefield, 1057 Southfield, 71106. Sergio March, 1045 Southfield, Shreveport, 71106. I own the largest tract of land in the square diagonally across the street from this location. I have almost all of the property on the south side of Southfield Road across from Southfield School. And as a result of being across the street from Southfield School and me and Southfield School owning all but one other lot on the street, I'm the one that bears the whole tax burden on Southfield Road because Southfield School, which is a bigger property owner than me, doesn't bear any tax burden. Be that as it may, we've been here before with this intersection. Some of y'all may remember the Taco Bell that was proposed across the street from this location 10 years ago. The whole neighborhood came out in opposition to that. The Taco Bell application was denied. And Jeb Breitup built a beautiful architectural office on that lot instead. I realize that the other three corners of this intersection are B1s and B2s. There may even be a B3 because of the old Passaic Printing Company, although that use has diminished somewhat since Passaic went out of business. A number of things that were said here today. First of all, I'd like to point out in response to the last discussion y'all were having about a previous case, that changing this from B1 to B2 and changing the residential lot from R1D to B2 is going to leave no buffer, no B1 buffer between the B2 and the next residential property. Some of y'all may be familiar or may recall the Circle K case at the corner of Line and Piermont. I was the attorney for all of the property owners on Piermont with respect to that. If you'll remember, the MPC approved it, the City Council reversed it, it then ended up in a lawsuit, and I spent over 100 hours of pro bono time helping work with Circle K's lawyers and the city's lawyers to resolve that, and we resolved it. And Oliver Jenkins gave me some pretty strong commendation in front of the City Council after it was resolved for being a concerned citizen that was willing to take the time to work out these neighborhood issues. A car wash at that intersection is a horrible use. The traffic already on Piermont from I-49 all the way to Line Avenue, all you have to do is get off the interstate at 5 o'clock in the afternoon or in the morning coming from Line Avenue to get on the interstate, and Piermont is backed up for 3 blocks. Putting a high-density car wash at that intersection is the worst use you could possibly put there. I think years ago that it was, a B1 was put in, I'm supposed to have 10 minutes.
No, you're good.
Okay.
I corrected.
Thank you.
So, mistake. You're good.
A zoning change was made some years ago to B1 for that corner lot, to put a law office. It wasn't my law office, and I don't know whatever happened to the law office, but it never got built. The traffic problem is a huge problem. I was very pleased, Mr. Ramirez and Ms. Smith, that y'all were concerned early about property values. And my history in front of this commission is that y'all generally don't talk very much about that, and I'm really glad to hear you talk about it today. If you think a self-storage facility is going to diminish property values in Madison Park, put a car wash next to a residential neighborhood on Southern Avenue. You know, I live in South Highlands, but South Highlands ends at Piermont. I am the southernmost property in South Highlands, and I feel a very strong concern for Cedar Grove. It's my neighbor. It's a total different economic class in South Highlands, but somebody has to watch out for Cedar Grove. There are parts of Cedar Grove that make it a historic neighborhood. By approving this application, you're going to put a high-density car wash right next to residential property on Southern in Cedar Grove. And talk about diminishing property values. It's going to wreck the property values. You've got a car wash a block away at Fairfield in Piermont. And Stan is here to talk about his car wash and what you're going to do by approving this car wash and put him out of business. He's been there for a dozen years, I think. And I think property values are a big thing. The Circle K fiasco should be fresh on everybody's mind. There was a way to do Circle K, and it didn't get done until we got to the litigation process, not because of y'all's fault. Circle K wouldn't talk. They kept telling everybody, we can't put the entrance on Line Avenue. We can't put the entrance on Line Avenue. We can't put the entrance on Line Avenue. We got to put it on Piermont. Guess where the entrance is? It's on Line Avenue. And everybody's happy with Circle K now. It's a smaller store. It's a better looking store. It complied with the SPI 6 design criteria. There's no guarantee here that these people are going to come. How are you going to take a car wash and comply with the SPI 6 design characteristics? I don't see how you can do it. They've got the site plan that they've submitted, and I really call it a site plan, but it's really not, has 21 vacuum cleaners on it. Now, I know those vacuum cleaners are two-sided, so there's actually 2 in 1. So that's 42 vacuum cleaners. I think the high-density use, you've got a church nearby, Ms. Smith, that's going to have services interrupted on Sunday because of this car wash. I wish y'all would remember Mr. Ken Mitchell's discussion about spot zoning and zoning by exception, and that's what's going to occur here if this car wash is approved. There's a much better uses for that property. A car wash just really doesn't fit very well. The majority of the property on Piermont Avenue from I-49 to Line Avenue, from I-49 to Fairfield is residential. The only thing that's business in that stretch of Piermont are the 4 corners at Fairfield and the 4 corners at Southern Avenue. A car wash is just really going to be a gross use of this property. High density, traffic, devalued property, and you're going to put Mr. Stan out of business.
Questions, Ms. Bessie?
Yes,
Scott?
I do. I'm very familiar with that area, and I was saying the same thing, and I want to ask Mr. Sweeney, because when I did drive by there, the homeowners on Tulsa, I didn't see any signs out there to let them know, and I'm talking about the residential people, that this was going to be a case today. I don't know if they were notified or
Well,
not.
they were notified within the 300 feet, so they did get letters.
Yeah, well, the signs, evidently, they were removed. because when I did drive by there,
He wasn't
I
there.
didn't see any signs there on Tulsa. You know where I'm talking about. It's a residential area.
I've been,
All back in there.
you're right.
Also,
There never were any signs, because I drive by there at least 5 or 6 times a day, and there never were any signs, and I don't think that people knew. Stan, the car wash people didn't know.
I know he was not familiar with it because it was a guy that had been calling me, and he's aware that I'm on the board. And he had heard of a car wash, and he said that he was going to go by and notify Mr. Stan, because I do know that he is doing a magnificent job there on the corner of on the corner of Fairfield and Paramount. You know, been there and doing. I want to commend him and also you for coming and letting us.
I don't always see eye to eye with Stan, but he's my neighbor.
Yes.
We have a cordial relationship. He's part of the neighborhood now. I would not like to see him put out of business by somebody from Monroe that wants to build a high-density automated car wash on a lot that's just a little bit over an acre.
Yeah, he does a magnificent job detailing cars there on that corner.
I think he probably wants to tell you something about that.
Anybody else? Name and address for the record, please.
Yeah, my name's Stanley Johnson, and I just wanted to say, I don't think it's a good idea to put a car wash right there, because if he gonna put machines there, it's best to do a hand wash car wash, and we do hand wash car wash, and we are one of the best in the city in hand washing, because those machines will scratch your car up, and then there'll be a problem about they ain't gonna want to pay for it, but we take care of your car like it's my car. If I do something, I take care of it like it's mine. So I don't think that's a good idea to put a car wash there. And I drive by there every day. I never seen a sign say car wash on that corner.
Thank you. Any questions? Mr. Andrews, sir?
Before you leave it, Mike, Mr. Stan, I'm kind of like Miss Betty. You weathered the storm in that neighborhood. They did not want you to open a car wash on that corner. But somehow, some way, you manage your business to where they've embraced you, and my hat's off
Yes,
to you.
indeed.
Thank you.
Do.
Quite
And
well.
your property's always clean and looks
Yes, it
good.
is.
So,
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Anybody else in favor? All right, I'm sorry. This is
You're in opposition.
This is opposition. Anybody else in opposition?
No, I'm in favor, no one.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, this is still favor.
You're in
No,
favor.
this is
This
opposition.
opposition.
This is opposition.
No, it isn't.
No, this is in,
I'm still in favor, no,
We're
right?
still-
oh, this is opposition, you're right,
It's
it is
opposition.
opposition.
No, this was an opposition.
Yeah, it is, you're right, you're right. Yeah, I'm-
Oh, opposition, I apologize.
That's okay.
I was trying to come up after him.
Oh. Well, if you're opposed to the application, you can speak.
That's it.
You're opposed to the
That's
application. Then you can come up and
Okay.
speak. All right.
You're getting me confused. Listen, after that
You're
2.5 hour
opposed to the
bit,
application.
I was
Name and
gonna-
address for the
I was
record.
gonna call out for supper.
Just got me in.
Name and address for the record, sir.
All right, my name's William Howard Malapass, 5825 Southern Avenue, Shreveport, Louisiana, 71106. I've been in front of y'all before on several things up to and including the Taco Bell and the big billboard that they wanted to put up over the interstate. I am a property owner. I own the property that's directly diagonal to this property. A lot of people know it where the red canoe is on the side of the building. It's the Gray Wolf Fly Shop now. I owned a company that was my corporate office building for offices that I had all over this area as well as in England. I kept the building because fly fishing is my hobby. I also own a house in this district, and I've got, as far as property investment, a little over $1.25 million in it. So I want to see it taken care of. I normally don't wear a suit and tie anymore. I got away from them. I love it. The zoning is one thing, but the actual project is a totally different thing. We've got a bad situation. I'm over off of Ontario and Glen Iris. We got a bad situation there and all the way around my building that I've had for over 22 years of water pipes. They're always being broken. They're always having to be dug up and repaired. We have a hard time keeping water on in that area, much less in just quadrupling the amount of water that's going to be needed for that area. As far as the traffic flow, it is really extensive. At one time, it was 49,000 cars a day. I don't know what the traffic count is anymore. I didn't look it up. That was originally the Paramount
business corridor that was established last year, and I was definitely against it because it told me I had to do a lot of things with my own doggone property, and I didn't appreciate it. But it was passed anyway. Now, that did not meet, and still does not meet, the Piermont Business Corridor layout that they had brought up. I have two businesses in that building. It's a 5,550 square foot office building. And I do pay taxes. I pay substantial taxes on property taxes, sales taxes, as well as income tax because I'm in the neighborhood as well. I've kept my building up for 22 years. If there's a problem, we take care of it. And I've gotten along with all my neighbors. And Jeb is a very good neighbor. So as far as the hours go, till 7 o'clock at night and 7:30 in the morning, we got a lot of school traffic through there. Just stay there on that intersection one morning and you'll see the substantial amount of people. If you ever want to know anything about an SUV, stand there. You'll see every one of them go by. I'm asking to not accept it and build one in another location that will be more conducive for that kind of building. I respect the people that are trying to do it. They're independent business people, and I like that. But, as they say, not in my backyard. Thank you.
Thank you. I have no questions for you. Thank you, sir. Anybody else who'd like to speak in opposition? Because there was opposition, we now have rebuttal.
Hello, I'm Don Robertson. I'm the founder of and managing partner of Rocket Pass Car Wash.
Mr. Robinson, address?
133 Parish Park Road, Ruston, Louisiana,
Yep.
71270.
Thank you. Now,
You think I would know that since I've just sat 4 hours.
we have
but-
to have that for the record, so.
Like I said, like Lane, my engineer, noted, we do build very high-end, high-quality facilities. I also am a partner in two automobile dealerships, one in Ruston, Louisiana, and one in Rayville, Louisiana. We are currently under construction on our 6th Rocket Fast Car Wash on Mansfield Road, as was mentioned. And this Piermont subject property would be our 7th location. I've made many notes here to kind of go over some of these opposition points, which I can understand some of them, but I'm going to try to, give my point of view. First of all, as far as that corner goes, it seems to me it's a interstate corner. Certainly seems that commercial property would be the best use for that property. I don't know how long it appears to have been vacant for many years. I don't know. I know there were some other properties that got rejected for whatever reason. But it appears to me that even though the residential is there, the other corners are already commercial. And so it would seem to me that commercial would be the best use for that corner as well. As far as the traffic goes, there is a lot of traffic on that street. Obviously, is which why I want to build a car wash there. And we're not going to add any traffic to that street. We're just hoping to pull some of it off of the street. So as far as traffic goes, the traffic is there. It appears to me that the traffic flows fairly well. With the intersection there, I've sat on the property a number of times at different times of the day. And I would not want to build a car wash where traffic stalls and does not move. The traffic appears to me to move very well on Piermont Avenue. We did notify our neighbors in the area through a letter that I personally wrote with some pictures and whatnot, which I think the gentleman behind me has the pictures of some of our facilities, which I think you would agree look very nice. We did have one of the neighbors across the street from us that was here in our favor of this project. However, he had to leave due to time constraints. I received no other responses from any other neighbors from the letters that we sent out describing and giving, some photographs and some information about our project. As far as some of the residential properties that are around us, it's my understanding that many of those properties are already under tax lien. And so it appears to me that any structure that we could put there would certainly enhance the area. We are going to create approximately 10 to 12 jobs with this project. And this may be irrelevant, I don't know, but our facilities, construction and equipment cost, not including the land, we spend about $1.5 million per site. So that brings construction, jobs, material, supplies, all that sort of thing to the area. And property taxes, should be noted, we'll be paying a substantial amount of property tax in the area as well, significantly more than what's being collected now, I would assume, off the property as it sits. As far as, I say this to last because I thought this was the best, as far as Mr. Stan back here, our project, our car washes are exterior only car washes. In other words, you've seen the model. We do not, our first site is in, I heard something about a turning radius, but that, we do not have an operating site in Shreveport at this point. Our Mansfield Road site will be open in February, but anyway, it's an exterior only car wash. We do not touch the cars. We do not vacuum. We have vacuums for use. So the point I'm trying to make with Mr. Stan is, I personally, at our dealership, have a detail shop. This car wash in no way is a competitor to a full-service detail operation. In fact, we could work in tandem, and I can send business, and he can send business to me. And like I said, we operated a full-service, I have 5 employees at my full-service detail shop in Ruston, and the car wash is in no way a competitor of a full-service detail shop. No way that we can do what he does to those cars with the waxing and buffing and whatnot. So I just wanted to make that clear, because it's not my intention to put anybody out of business, and certainly not I mean, I would respect any man that does what he does, that has businesses, and that is certainly not my intention at all. I don't think it's an issue at all. To summarize, I really feel like that our project will be a really significant improvement to the property values in the area and on the corner. The facility is going to look really nice. As far as landscaping goes, I have to approve our landscaping plans, and we go above and beyond anything that any city has ever required. All of our facilities are meticulously landscaped. We plant ryegrass in the wintertime. Right now, all of my grass is green as a gourd. I've got beautiful flowers all over them. We keep the parking lots clean. We have staff there that cleans the lot every day. These are staffed car washes. And I really feel like this project should be approved based on my history with these car washes, as well as improvements to the corner in question there.
Any questions for Mr. Robinson, correct?
Yes, Don Robertson.
Don Robinson. I try to write everybody's name down so I don't get lost, but no, thank you, sir. That's all. Comments, questions for the board?
Mr. Chairman, I guess my concern is the traffic at that particular spot. It's just horrendous. And yeah, it would probably be great for a car wash to run in there and get it clean and keep on back out, but the interaction between a facility going in and out right there with the amount of traffic coming off of 49, coming out of Cedar Grove, let me get my stories, coming out from Hollywood, coming all the way across. is just tremendous. It baffles me as to how
Yeah,
that won't cause a problem.
Well, from what I can see from the site plan, the entrance, the only entrance to it is off of Southern.
That's correct.
That's correct? It's not off, because I looked at that originally, I said, there's no way DOTD approved that.
No.
An access point off of Piermont.
Do all that.
Huh?
Approved it, right?
DOTD?
Yeah, or the traffic engineer.
For traffic in either city or,
They are reviewing it in the process of site plan review and so far have not had any issues.
they have no issues with it.
Car washes are funny. They kind of peak at different points in time, and if the weather's inclement, they don't do any activity. So it's kind of not one of those things that's a constant traffic issue, to be honest with you.
Miss Bessie, thank you for your cooperation pushing the button. You can keep winning.
Yeah, because I'm ready to get out of
Okay,
here. I
all
got to
right.
be
Yeah, we're at 5, so nobody else can leave. So,
I agree with Mr. Andrew. On Piermont, it's already a lot of traffic, and we know that. And it's a church back up in there too. And this is not going to do nothing but cause more traffic. And we have a lot of things going on already in Cedar Grove. You understand? And I'm thinking, when you say car washes in that area, I just could not say yes to this, because I'm very familiar. I travel that way all the time, and I know it is traffic. And that school, Southfield, I believe that's the name of the school, you're talking about some traffic at that particular time. And I just can't see it there. You understand?
Okay.
Very,
anybody else?
Again, I'm gonna reiterate, the traffic engineers and city and all that do make that decision.
I know that.
Okay. Anybody else? Chair will entertain a motion.
I make a motion to deny it.
I have a motion to deny. Need a second?
Second.
I have a second. I have a motion by Ms. Bessie as to deny, second by Mr. Andrews. Please vote. And the motion carries on a 3-2 vote to deny the application. All right, we're going to the next case, which is Cordero Malone, case C 8516.
Yes, please.
Cordero Malone, 611 East Washington Street, zip code 71103. I am here because I wanted 2435, 2437 Kings Highway rezone to B3 for our automotive service facility. The application was denied, so I'm hoping I convince you to reevaluate that and go in my favor. I didn't know y'all would have a map. So I made my own map, but I can use this one.
Yep.
Well, first off, I've been in the automotive service for 11 years. And I started at a Chevrolet dealership. I went to Holmes Honda. Now I'm a tech at UPS now. So I got all my ASC certifications. I got all my GM certifications. With those put together, it gave me a world-class tech certification. So I'm not really new to this. I'm pretty good. And I learned a lot of management skills at my UPS job. I started an automotive service called Affordable Mechanics 3 years ago. And it's pretty much a automotive service where I come to you because I can't afford the overhead. I still want to give people low cost.
Right.
So it's very convenient for people, you know, especially a lower income. But I need to expand. I need a more stone-built place, you know, for people to come to, because it makes it hard for me to go here, to go there, go here, go there. I mean, it works you, and you're limited with the weather. When it rains, I'm done. You know, when it gets too cold, I'm done. When it gets too hot, I'm done. But if I'm able to put a facility on this property,
There's a lot of traffic there. It's right between LSU, probably half a mile from LSU. On the south, not the south, but the northwestern end, you can get to Willis Knighton, a quarter of a mile away. It does abut a neighborhood, but it's the dead end area of the neighborhood. There's no entrance, no exit from their way. I feel like a tall fence that'll protect the neighborhood. They wouldn't hear anything. They have what you call low noise compressors. That would be the only problem, I think, in the neighborhood, noise. And a lot of these properties are rental properties. I drove through the neighborhood. I don't know a lot of people in the property, but I spoke with some people that were just walking around. And they say, yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be a problem. There's an automotive shop right down the street. It's like 300 blocks away, this building here. That's a taxi company, and they do automotive repair there for taxis, and they do towing. There's the attorney's office in here. This building right here, this is an abandoned house. Doors are kicked in. I'm guessing because of the weather the other day, because it wasn't always like that. Right. You know, so I guess the rain, you know, homeless people, they kick the doors in to have somewhere to stay. Other than that,
Any questions for Mr. Malone? In full disclosure, he was a student at my place for a long time.
yeah, I was about 10 years old.
Yeah, so we go back a few years, so.
Oh, wow.
I had a lot less gray hair and a whole lot more of other hair, so, off the top of my head. You got to sit through what is probably one of the second longest meetings I've ever had the joy of participating in.
Okay.
And you heard some concerns that we had when we were talking about B2s adjoining and budding homes. And a B3 is even, here's the problem. This is, and I'm speaking out of turn, and Mr. Andrews, I'll defer to you in just a second.
Sure.
A B3 is once that's granted to that property, it's not just granted what you want to do. It's granted perpetuity for everything underneath B3.
Unless we do an exception.
Unless we do an exception. And so therefore, it could potentially be opening up Pandora's box as far as development goes. And it does abut or back up to residential, which is always our concern because you can get pretty serious intense uses. So with that, I'll leave it and I'll go to Mr. Andrews.
Well, and I really respect the fact that you're wanting to start a business on your own right there. And the thing that just concerns me is that you want to do used car sales and service facilities. So you'll be repairing vehicles, is that, which is it 50-50 or is it 40-60 or is it 30-70?
On the repair side, I say 85%. The other 15 sales. That's just because when you have what you call a open repair shop, because it's not the dealer, you bring in whatever comes through the door. Sometimes you have situations where you have vehicles that are abandoned that you have to resell, and they would have to sit in the front, but that's not my priority of the business. I just had to put that on the application.
Well, and I can appreciate that. I guess the challenge I have, one, is between the two hospitals, and then there's a residential area, and then there's Sam Jenkins' office, half a block or a block away. And then if you go back through the neighborhood of 500 feet, maybe 2 football lengths, there's an elementary school.
Claiborne.
Right.
Yeah, my little girl went to Claiborne.
Yeah, you know exactly where it is. And I guess that's just my concern. And yeah, I know there's a taxi deal there, but those boys have been there a long time, and it appears the community has just kind of absorbed them in there, and there's nothing out. There's a fence that protects everything from the front coming and going. And I'm just concerned about.
I don't mean to can I interrupt you for a second? There is a fence there, but it's what do you call, like a gated fence? You can see right through it, so anybody in the neighborhood can see what's going on the property.
Yeah, I understand, but they have a building where they do work inside. Am I correct? Yeah. And I guess my concern is anytime in my neighborhood where there's a service repair, it's kind of like the cars just kind of multiply out front and along the sides, and then the grass starts growing up between. Right. And I can carry to a dozen of them this afternoon because it's dark. We can't see them now.
I know exactly
what I'm talking about.
And that's not the look I'm going for at all.
That's my fear.
Yes, I can understand that. And being that there's not a building there already, or you don't know how I can conduct business already, it's kind of, you can't give a like you really don't know how I am. You know how I handle things. But people that know me, I'm a very neat person. I keep things clean. I don't like things out of order. I'm very particular. And I do not like automotive shops that are around here that have cars just sitting out, piling up. It just doesn't look good. It makes the neighborhood look bad.
That's
And
correct.
that's not what I'm about.
That's correct. But just in case this don't fly, there's a building on 70th Street before you get to the railroad tracks on the right-hand side. It used to be owned by Hollis and Company. It's vacant, been vacant.
Yeah, that, behind Circle K, there's a guy named Calvin that used to work there. When I was in high school, he taught me some basic pain and body when I was in school.
You might be able to get your hand, if this don't fly, that possibly. I know him very well.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Thank you, Mr. Malone. I don't see anybody else out there, is there?
Yeah.
I guess you just have to ask.
We don't have any.
For the record, ask.
Anybody else like to speak in favor of this application? Any like to speak in opposition
There
to
you
this
go.
application?
And no rebuttals.
And there's no rebuttals. All right. Give us just a second with the little
And I
vote.
encourage you to keep on your dream, whatever happens, and to get your business.
Okay. Thank you.
Encouraging.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
We like young entrepreneurs.
Should I sit?
I was young once.
Should I stay up here?
You sit down, just grab a seat. Thanks, Cadero. Comments, questions of the board? If not, Chair will entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, as much as I would love to celebrate his opportunity for entrepreneurship, I just don't think that's the location. I'm concerned about eventually how that's going to play out between the two hospitals and that particular corridor going towards the, and it ain't just the hospital, it's the foundation, the Miss Virginia Sheehy started the Biomedical Center. Yeah, that's right down the street as well. And that's just my concern. I'm going to make a motion to deny, and that's just going to be my.
And I second the motion.
I have a motion to deny and second by Ms. Bessie. Any comments? Nope. Please vote. Sorry, sir.
Okay. I appreciate it.
Take Mr. Andrews
you
up on
decide to
his
take a look into
advice
that-
to help find a location, okay?
Just give us a call.
You might do better to find an existing building, so. Mr. Sweeney,
Oh, I've got a long report to give you. No, I don't.
would you please send it to us in a letter
I'm
or
gonna do this.
email?
I'm gonna make it real quick.
Before you
I
say
pro-
anything,
yes.
Mr. Clark and Mr. Stephen Jean will tell you, this has not been the longest meeting.
No, it's not.
Not by a long shot. So go ahead.
It's been my longest.
Your longest,
Since
yeah.
you've
In
been
over
here.
2 years.
Thank you.
I will say this very quickly,
Please.
that we will be doing a presentation to the Parish Commission, Long Range Planning Committee, hopefully later this month, on the UDC. And we will also be hopefully doing a presentation to the City Council because they've already introduced the UDC on their agenda. And I anticipate a vote on this in January. So I will just let you know that that's going to happen. I don't know the dates yet, but it's coming very soon. The only other thing I want to say is we have our holiday luncheon on Friday the 9th. And if you have not RSVP'd to Holly Phillips, who's sitting right there, please do so by tomorrow because we do need to know so we can get a head count. A little different this year. It won't be a buffet. You'll actually have a menu sitting in front of you, and you will fill out the menu, and they will provide you with what you're requesting because they stopped doing buffets at Country Tavern. Interesting. So anyway, I do encourage you to be there. We'll have some entertainment. We'll have some conversations about some things that we've been doing, and I think you'll enjoy it. So.
Are you singing karaoke?
If I did, you wouldn't want to come. That would be torture, worse than
Ms.
this.
Holly, is there anybody in the board members that have not, that you see have not RSVP'd?
No one that's here.
No one that's here. Very good. So we're good on that. Do what?
I want to invite you all.
Oh, yes. Well, Mr. Sweeney, are you done?
I'm done.
You're done. Ms. Bessie, real
I want to
quick?
make a quick announcement. January the 8th, we're going to have at the Hopewell Baptist Church Business and Professional Day. Certainly would like for all of you that can come, board members, please do so and bring some of your staff.
Sure, you bet.
Scott Creighton will be our speaker. Please come, I'm looking for you.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Leave?
Any
What's the
other
date again?
thing from board? No? Mr. Andrews?
Motion to adjourn.
I have a motion to adjourn, so moved.
Yes.
Second.
Thank you. Second by Dr.
Thank you.
Cornwell.
Tell me the date again, Miss Bessie?
January 8th, Sunday, 10:45.
Don't forget to tell Mrs.
Not a Southern
Cooper-
Baptist, that means you need to show up on time.
Southern
Don't
Baptist.
forget to tell
Wait,
Mrs.
where is
Cooper.
it located?
Hopewell.
I'm so glad our meeting's
Hopewell
been out this long.
Baptist Church.
Hopewell?
That was when we started at
Now,
one
don't
point.
forget to tell
It was like
Mrs.
7
Cooper
when we
for
got,
me.
wasn't that right, Mr. G?
It was even longer.
And we started at, yes.
Still have my hide. I'm not sure.
And we had a room full of folks. Oh, here's another one.
I'm coming.
A room full of folks.
Ooh, I'm glad it's not a room full tonight. I got to get home here hoping I can see.
My preacher gonna take the mic in 15 minutes. I'm gonna let him talk to my wife.
Yeah.
She can tell me what he said.
Now, you right.
She can tell me what he
I'm
said.
going home.
You're right, sir. That's over
Maybe I should have
120.
went for 7 or 8 instead of 10.
60 years.
Anyway.
Never.
Oh, well, I limited it to 10. Maybe I
It
should
is,
have
that's
done
what
it.
they like. Well. No daylight. No, and once you get that done, don't speak like it. Just went longer than I wanted. Where you parked, the property? That's why I wanted to stay with you.
I don't like to know how all it works. I don't want to do something.
But nobody put anything on the table that says, this is what it's gonna be. This is what it's gonna be. Proper perspective here.
Sorry.
See if you'll call me, I'll get the call. Thank you, Ms. Mayor.
We need to train the ZBA chairman to do that.
There you go. We'll see you on Friday.